Hello my pretties. Today we're looking at the Umarex Strike Point. It is a multi-pump air pistol in 5.5mm or .22 caliber. The short version is, it's fine. It's kind of loud. This is kind of janky. The sights are kind of iffy and the trigger's pretty spongy and heavy, but it's fine. The slightly longer version is, this is made mostly out of plastic. The bolt is all plastic, the trigger is plastic, the casing is a lot of plastic. The only metal bits are certain parts of the breech, the barrel, and of course the air cylinder. It is completely ambidextrous except for the bolt handle, of course, can't be swapped to the other side, not without some sawing, which I may or may not have considered. It's 1.1 kilograms or 2.42 pounds, but it does feel pretty front heavy, which is kind of natural given it's a multi-pump pistol, but it does feel more front heavy than, say, the 1377 from Crossman, but this does feel a lot bulkier and far more sturdy than that. It's 35 centimeters long or 13.8 inches. The sights I'm not a huge fan of. It's a fiber optic sight in the front with quite a thick hood around it, so there's not much space between there to actually acquire your target. And as for the rear sights, they are adjustable for windage and elevation, but only through a single tiny screw, so when you're adjusting one, you're automatically adjusting the other just simply by proximity. There's also no rails or anything for scopes, so nothing to help you out there. There's also no thread silence for silence at the front. As for accuracy, well, we'll get to that in a bit, I guess. As for pumping, it can be pumped up to 10 pumps, and I didn't notice that much of a difference between 3, 5, and 10 pumps. They all seem to be pretty easygoing. There's a manual crossbolt safety, and the trigger is kind of spongy, kind of heavy under pressure. When it's not pumped up, it's pretty easy, but there's still quite a lot of travel. I'll show you more when I do go to the shooting segment. It's not pellet fussy, and it's half the price of the Crossman 1377 where I am, so if that's a factor, yeah. Now, my main issue with this gun is the breech area. So this bolt being plastic, it's very loose in the channel that it travels in. So to demonstrate, I'm going to refer to some props. So let's say that the empty space between this is the channel in which the bolt travels. And here we have a hilariously over-exaggerated, missized bolt. So this is the exact same setup where the O-ring is actually on the front, and it's the same width as the bolt. So if you grab the handle and you move forwards, it actually tilts within the channel, and the O-ring digs up against the side, which is one of the few metal parts in the gun. So it jams in, and if you try to push it more, you're basically just busy destroying your O-ring. So you'll drag it along destroying it. So I find that the best way to do this is to actually put your finger as close as you can to the base of the handle and pull it forwards. And of course it goes straight through. It doesn't jam when you try to do it. So, that said, let's see how accurate I can get and what the sound levels are for various levels of pumps. So, the gun is rather loud, and I really struggle to see the sights through, the targets through the front sights. The circles I draw are roughly an inch in size, and I actually couldn't see them from behind the front sights. So what I ended up doing was actually matching the hood with something in the background so I could try shoot repeatedly in the same place. It's not that bad, accuracy-wise. I'm not sure what happened on the first shot of the 5-pump series. But I am keen to see what's underneath the hood, so to speak, and if there's a way to actually mount a silencer or some sights. So let's dive in. Okay, so how it works is there's 2 screws at the back here which you take out, and then you take something like a small screwdriver and just slide it between the body and the bottom and the top, and then you remove it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. And at the front, there's some sort of air stripper, which I guess then just takes the air and puts it into the shell as some sort of sound dampening, but it doesn't work that well, it appears. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to saw through this front part at the bottom so I can remove the air stripper. Then this barrel band, hopefully I can just move slightly backwards or something, or just remove it, and then put a silencer adapter on the barrel and then see what it sounds like. Okay, so I sawed it off, and it's got these tiny little baffles as a system in the front, and as soon as you saw the front part off, these just all fall off. As for the barrel band, well, it can't be moved backwards, it can only be removed, but the barrel is actually screwed in with a 9mm by 1mm pitch thread, so it's pretty damn sturdy. So yeah, the barrel itself is just over 11mm, so 11.1. So I have an 11.1mm silencer adapter that seems to slip on real snug like. So I will put that in place, shove one of my 22 silencers on, and see how it goes. So now that we've taken the top off the pistol, I've slipped on the 11.1mm silencer adapter. So now monkey try put silence on, but you know, the square doesn't fit through the triangle. Fortunately, I have the Lobo Mustang, which is my favorite gun, see a video somewhere, and it has the same similar spacing issue between the thread and the air chamber. So I ordered this off eBay. I don't know what it is, I just searched for UNF extension. The problem was that this actually didn't have a hole through it, so you can screw in with UNF there, it's UNF here. I just drilled a hole through the middle. So screwing this on, they always take longer to screw moderators on and off. Anyway, let's pretend I've now screwed that on there too. It's quite a lot of additional weight, but fortunately this little UNF adapter is actually almost flush up against the air cylinder, so any kind of droop would be limited by the contact between those two. So yes, that's my silencing plans, but then how are no sights better than slightly crappy sights? Well, here comes my catchphrase. I designed and 3D printed some scope adapters and then just shoved a Picatinny rail on top. So these are designed to snap on rather firmly, so it takes a bit of a push, but it gets on. And the thing is that it not only hooks around the barrel nice and tightly, but it actually hugs the air cylinder, so it keeps the sights from moving and also keeps the barrel from actually moving around. So now that we have this, let's see if this makes any kind of difference to the sound and the accuracy. And here we have the results. They can't talk for themselves, so I guess I'll have to. While numerically the sound difference doesn't look that impressive, audibly the sound signature is so much more different. It's no longer a loud bang, it's now a softer peh, so it's much more indoor friendly. As for the accuracy at 6 meters, well, this tightened up quite a lot compared to the stock sights. The stock sights were all over the place. I got cocky and tried to take this out to 10 meters. This is a 21mm group. It's not that great, I was expecting better, but I think I was struggling with the trigger, and honestly I haven't been able to shoot this as much as I wanted to because it has been so loud. But now that that's softer, maybe with practice I'll get used to the trigger and this will tighten up. If it does, I'll make a subsequent video and show what it can do. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the review, my usual modding hijinks, and yeah, just be awesome to each other. Ciao.